Good day and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Legend Knows Football TV. It's time to talk semi-finals. It's time to preview this massive game on the African continent. Two of the biggest nations on the African continent. And of course, as you can see, I'm wearing green. I am in support of Nigeria. But I'm not going to be biased today. Today we are just going to break it down between these two teams and look at the little bit of history between these two teams on how the last meeting that they had in the past, how it went down. But let's look at the journey first and foremost. Guys, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for everyone that liked the video, the previous video, the review video, and for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. Without further ado, let's get into it, how the journey unfolded for these two teams in the group stages all the way to where we are today. It started off with Morocco. As you can see, Morocco is currently ranked 11th, much higher than Nigeria, who is 38th. But football is played on the pitch. Let's just put a pin in that. Football is played on the pitch and anything can happen on the day, especially with what we have seen so far. But guys, let's see how Morocco went about their business getting into the semi-finals of this African Cup of Nations 2025. They were the Group A winners, ending with 7 points as they versus Comoros, they won 2-0. Versus Mali, they drew 1-1. Versus Zambia, they won 3-0. This game versus Zambia was the game where I actually saw Morocco when they are at their best. They can just destroy a team. They can destroy a team and just nullify, because Zambia that day had no answer. I know Zambia is a bit of a small nation, but Zambia also won the AFCON. When was it? Was it not 2013 or somewhere there when Zambia won the AFCON? So they have quality in terms of in footballers and grooming footballers, development programs and stuff like that. So, but Morocco is just like, at this present time, Morocco is light years ahead of most teams. I mean, this draw against Mali there was a record of, was it how many games that they played, how many years? I think it's 2-3 years where they haven't lost a game or haven't failed to win a game. So Morocco is definitely on a different level. But that's how the group ended for them. They won 2 and drew 1, and they ended on 7 points. Marching on to the round of 16, they met Tanzania and had a narrow victory of only 1-0 against a stubborn Tanzania side, a Tanzanian side that left everything on the pitch. Moving on to the quarterfinals, they met Cameroon. Cameroon also had high hopes in this tournament, but to no avail against, like I said, a Moroccan team with quality. And after the quarterfinals, obviously we are at the stage of the semi-finals now versus Nigeria. And this was the Nigerian pathway to this semi-final that's taking place tomorrow. Nigeria was in Group C with Tanzania, Tunisia, and Uganda. A group which I actually saw Nigeria getting out of. Actually pegging them to finish first. And what did they do? They ended up with a perfect record in the group. 9 points as it all went down. Versus Tanzania, they won 2-1. Versus Tunisia, they won 3-2. In this game against Tunisia, we could see that Nigeria was a force to be reckoned with, because Tunisia is not really a small team. But at one stage in this game, Nigeria was leading 3-0. And Tunisia had a late fight back. I think Nigeria also took the foot off the pedal in this game, and of course Tunisia scored 2 goals. Versus Uganda, the goalie got a red card of Uganda, so it was just as clear as day what Nigeria had to do, and they did the job and they got the job done. They won 3-1 at the end of the day. Moving on to the round of 16 versus Mozambique, brushed them aside 4-0. Lookman and Osimhen just running riot in that game. And then the quarterfinal game versus Algeria. Everyone said that this game would be close, but if you had watched the game between Algeria and Nigeria, Nigeria was dominating this game. Algeria had no answers. They even subbed off Mahrez in the 60th minute. So this was the journey of both teams as we head into the semifinals, how they managed to get to the semifinals. A very, should I say, who had the tougher group and big fixtures. I might say Nigeria had most of the tougher games. But in Africa, you know, everyone plays for the badge, everyone. So every game is a tough game. You have to be focused 100% on the job and on the pitch in order to win. This is the history. The most recent meeting between Morocco and Nigeria took place in, let me read as follows. Most recent meeting was in February 2018 when Morocco beat Nigeria 4-0 in the African Nations Championship final. I don't think that competition, I think that competition was stopped, but this is the latest or most recent match between, I mean, in terms of in a tournament situation where Morocco had a humongous score over Nigeria, beating them 4-0. But that is quite some time ago. I think this is going to be different. I said I'm not going to be biased, but you know, a little bit of bias creeping in here and there. And now we look at the style of play between these two teams. Morocco, quick and slick on the ball. They like that quick, slick passing, mostly play on the wings, especially with the likes of the like overlap fullbacks to provide crosses, Hakimi and Mazraoui. Those are the two guys that like to overlap. Those fullbacks like to overlap and provide crosses into El Kabi and Sabir. Sabir also breaking into the box to try and win those headers. But with the physicality that Nigeria has in the box between Calvin Bassey and Ajayi, I think we can Nigeria can nullify those crosses and just keep them at bay. The pressing game from Nigeria is also very, how should I say, on point in terms of, like I said, the physicality with the pressing game combined. They can smother a team. They can smother a team and overpower a team, and that's what they did with Algeria. Algeria had no time on the ball. They could not make 2-3 passes without them being smothered, doubled on by players, you know. And the quick in transition through ball to Osimhen. Osimhen always plays on the shoulder of the defender, ready to make that run in behind. And with Iwobi linking play between the defense and the attacking line of Lookman, Akor Adams and Osimhen, that transition is where Nigeria thrives on. Sometimes spreading the ball also out to the wings. And the fullbacks also like Bruno and Bright. Fullbacks also chiming in with crosses to Osimhen and co, especially in that game against Algeria, where Bruno had put in that delicious ball for Osimhen to score that header. So this is going to be a nail-biting affair. This is going to be a very, both of these teams' style of play is very similar with little differences that you can spot in the play. As you can see that I wrote down here is both teams have good aerial presence in El Kabi. El Kabi is the guy that has had 2 overhead kicks in this tournament. 2 goal of the tournament moments, you know. And Osimhen, of course, a presence in the air, half a chance he can make it and he can score. So the players to watch in this game, a spelling error there, but never mind. In this game for me, for Morocco, is definitely Brahim Diaz and Ezazuli on the wings. Mostly Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz can manipulate the ball. He is technically very gifted. Manipulate the ball in such a way that he can beat a defender and put in a delicious ball. He's drifting off the ball just in those half spaces in the box. Can confuse defenders where you don't actually pick him up. He's like a shadow, you know. Like Messi used to do it. Not comparing him to Messi, but I'm just saying like Messi used to do it, where you just see out of the blue he's there and he scores. As Azuli, he likes to take a shot from outside the box and also put in those deadly crosses. So these are the danger men for Morocco. And then, of course, not to mention, not to forget, like I said, the wing backs between Mazarawi and Hakimi on the right. Those ones also joining in the attack, which then makes the pressing game for Nigeria so important to win the ball and then sting and then instill that and start that counter attack, quick counter attack from Osimhen, Lookman, and Akor Adams. So and then those are the danger men that I've just mentioned for Nigeria. Osimhen, Lookman, the link up play between them after receiving the ball from Iwobi and the back line from the midfield. I'm so excited. I'm lost for words, man. I can't wait to watch this game. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a delicious game. As for predictions, I think that I'm going to give this like I think I'm going to give a 2-1 victory for Nigeria. 2-1, or is it going to be a tight game, or is it going to be a goals galore game? Because both of these teams can score goals. They can create opportunities. And mistakes, as we saw in the earlier group fixtures, mistakes were made. I mean, Morocco has kept more clean sheets than Nigeria throughout the tournament so far. But Nigeria creates. They have scored more goals than Morocco. So Nigeria creates more opportunities. So this is maybe going to be a high scoring game. But it all depends on who wins the battle in the midfield, who is better in transition, in pressing the ball and then moving the ball upfield to the attacking players and taking your chance when you get it. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory for Nigeria. Moving into the finals, either to face Cote d'Ivoire. No, it's not Cote d'Ivoire, it's Senegal or Egypt. So that's my preview for today, people. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the match review. This has been your match preview. Cheers, stay safe and God bless.